So there's an active shooter in my area. Yeah. And by in my area, I mean like literally about a 5-minute walk from my house. So that's cool. I'm in Canada, by the way. That is not the norm here. It shouldn't be the norm anywhere, but it's especially not the norm here. Like, I've never experienced that in this city, at least. I did when I lived in Toronto, but not in the city that I'm currently in. So I'm a little anxious. Yeah. So we're just gonna like talk about books in order to ignore our feelings. Sounds good. So hi, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the weekly vlog. What an intro, eh? Yeah, I read like basically nothing last week. I didn't finish a single book last week, and that's very strange for me. But this week, we're off to a good start so far. So I have excellent news. I have finally, at long last, finished Interview with the Vampire. I finished it last night and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It did take me 28 days to read a 340-page book. Hi, Tony. Yeah, it was very, very good. It was just super dense. Very long monologues, just stream of consciousness the whole way through. So it did take me a good long while to get through it, but I did have a great time with it. I gave it 4 stars. I think it's like, I don't really do like 0.75 stars, but it's more like a 3.75. But I'm just gonna call it a 4 because that's easier. Yeah, the writing in this book is so heavy. Like, look at the size of it. What was I saying? This book was so beautifully written, atmospheric, and I absolutely adored the writing of it. The characters were super fun. Yeah, it was a great book. I'm very much looking forward to continuing on with the series eventually. Not gonna be right away, but at some point I am going to finish that. I also only have 1 episode left in season 2 of the show, and I'm like just about to watch that. I can't wait for it. Oh, I'm so excited to watch that. But yeah, we finished that one up, and then I'm also making some good progress on Starling House. I don't think I really touched it at all last week, aside from like maybe a couple of pages, but this morning I read for a bit. I'm currently on page 173 and I'm having a pretty good time. I do see what people mean. Tony's just staring over there. I do see what people mean by it being kind of mid. Like, I am enjoying it, but like, I would barely call this a horror. Like, it's more of a fantasy that just happens to be set in a like horror setting. But I am still enjoying it, having a good time here. I doubt it'll get higher than like a 3.5 unless the ending blows me away. But from everything that I've heard from the reviews, it probably won't. So, but having a good time here. I'm hoping to finish this one tonight if I can stay awake long enough. I am so tired. And then finally, so yesterday morning, I started reading the audiobook for Sisters of the Snake by Sasha and Sarena Nanua, I think is the name. They're twin sisters from Ontario. Like, they live in Toronto, which is super cool. Yeah, this one's really fun so far. So it's about 2 girls. One is a princess and the other one is like an orphan and a thief. And the thief character ends up like sneaking into the palace one day, runs into the princess, and they realize that they are identical, and the princess is like locked in the palace. She's like never allowed to go outside, but she has this quest that she needs to go on to find something to stop a war. And when she meets this girl who looks just like her, she's like, oh, perfect, let's swap places so I can go on this quest and you can live in a palace for a couple weeks. And also the whole thing of like, we're definitely twins, but neither of us knew that, so let's also figure that out. Also, there is snake magic, which is super cool. So I'm having a good time with this one. It's pretty like cheesy and predictable, not in a fully bad way, but just in that like very YA kind of way that like is sometimes not great, but sometimes is really fun. This is kind of like in the middle, but I do like the characters. I just wish that like some things were less easy. Like, it feels like everything is just kind of like super convenient, and I'm also having a really hard time believing that not a single person has figured out that these two have swapped places. Like, not the princess's parents, not the thief character's best friend, like no one noticed at all. Like, I get they're twins, but twins are not that identical, and like the one had like darker skin because she's been outside a lot and like lives on the street. She's like covered in scars, and now she's being dressed and bathed by maids and nobody noticed that she's covered in scars all of a sudden. Like, come on. I don't fully buy that. but aside from that, I am having a good time. I've sped through it as well. I have about an hour left in the audiobook, so I'll probably finish that one up today. I'm just making some soup right now, so while I'm cooking, I will probably finish that up. But I think right now I'm going to watch the last episode of Interview with a Vampire. So my dishwasher is going downstairs, and I hate being downstairs when it's on because the sound bothers me, so I'm just in my room, and I'll probably put that on just to drown it out. But anyways, that is the update for right now. I don't think I have any like actual plans this week. One of my friends is hosting a movie night tonight that I might go to. Like, I want to go to it, but I'm also exhausted. Like, I've literally been falling asleep on the couch all day, so I might not go to that. I'm in my comfy pajamas and I don't really want to get out of them, so maybe I'll do movie night a different night, but maybe I'll go. Who knows? We'll see. Maybe I'll feel social. I don't know. Only time will tell. Good morning. Happy Friday. Suddenly forgot everything that I was gonna say. Man, I've been trying to not drink coffee so much. Maybe I should. Like, maybe I need coffee to function. I think I do. Man, I just want to like not be reliant on caffeine to get through a day. You know what I mean? Anyways, good morning. Let's talk about books. Still reading Starling House. I'm now on page 204, so I'm getting close to the end here. I'm hoping to be able to finish this tonight, maybe. I work until 10, so it's maybe not realistic, but I am off tomorrow, so I can stay up late. So maybe I will finish this tonight. Yeah, I'm not disliking this, but I'm also not loving it, you know? So I'm kind of like dragging my feet with reading it, but my audiobook hold for the Sunbearer trials just came in, so I want to reread that, and I have to finish this physical book before I start a different physical book. So that is my incentive now to finish this, hopefully tonight, so I can start that tomorrow. But yeah, making progress there. I forgot to mention on my last update, I am also reading House of Frank by Sinclaire, I think is the author. This one I'm reading with the Cozy Quill book club on Fable, and I'm liking it for the most part. So I like the characters. It's like a found family kind of thing, which you know I'm gonna love always. I love the side characters. I love the setting. It's super cool. But okay, so synopsis. This one is about a girl. She's a witch and her sister has passed away. It's been about 2 years since her sister passed away, and her sister asked her to plant her ashes at the House of Frank. You can go there and plant your loved one's ashes to turn them into a tree. And the main character has been like putting it off for 2 years because she can't let go. I have no idea what happened yet, but she's now like estranged from her family. But the book starts with her like finally at least going to the House of Frank to finally do this, but she chickens out, and so Frank like offers her a job to work there until she's ready to plant her ashes. So I'm like 30-ish% in right now, and the part that I'm not liking is how it's written. So it's really weird because like the narrator, it's written in first person, but the narrator is talking to the reader as though the reader is the dead sister, and it's very strange. I can't read out the quote because I'm using my phone to film, but basically it would just be like, I get to the House of Frank to plant your ashes, Fiona, and I don't know if I can say goodbye to you yet. Things like that where it's saying you and as though you are Fiona, the sister, and it's really off-putting. Like, I get what the author is going for, but I'm not really enjoying it. It's just kind of awkward, and it's like really throwing me for a loop. So I'm not loving that, but I do like the side character a lot in the setting, so I am going to tentatively continue. I'm about 30% in right now, so I've read a good chunk of it, and we'll kind of see where it goes. I do know that it's a sapphic romance, so I'm looking forward to that, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. And then with Sisters of the Snake, I finished that one the other day. I read it super quickly. It was pretty good. I gave it a 3.5 star. I loved the magic system with like all the snake magic and a whole bunch of cool stuff. The world was really cool. I loved the setting, and I loved the like sister stuff, but I really didn't enjoy the romance parts that were starting to form, I was really not having that at all, not into that. So but overall it was a pretty good read, and I'm actually already reading book 2. I put the audiobook on hold because it said that it would be available in 3 weeks, so it was like, perfect, that sounds great. And then it was actually available the next day, so I've already started book 2, and I think I'm about 60% of the way through book 2 right now. And same as before, I love the magic system, I like the plot, but I really don't like the romance, and the romance is so much more involved now, and I like it even less. So there's a floating cat hair. But yeah, the 2 sisters, they are currently in like different parts of the world trying to do something that I can't talk about because it would spoil book 1, and like they both have their own separate romances happening, and I'm just like, it is such a large part of the plot now, and like they'll be in the middle of doing something like super important and like talking about plans and like how to move the plot forward, and then it just like all of a sudden switches to like, and his eyes darkened and my cheeks flushed, and I'm like, why? Where did that come from? Like, stop it. Like, anyways, yeah, I'm liking it for the most part. I just really, I don't want the romance in there. But it is what it is. I think that's everything that I'm currently reading. I really want to start the Sunbearer trials so badly, so I gotta finish this. I gotta make progress in this. Hopefully I can do that today. If not today, then definitely tomorrow, because I'm off for the whole weekend, so I don't have to worry about going to work, and I can just sit on the couch and read all day. So I'm excited about that. But anyways, I have a couple of dog walks today. I'm going to go see Sky, my my favorite boy, and then afterwards I have Pippi and Benjamin Button again. So very excited to go see those guys. And then I'm gonna hope that I'll have some time to run errands before I come back from those dog walks, before I have to go to work. So wish me luck. I'm gonna stop talking and actually go and do those things now. So I will see y'all later on. Hi, happy Monday. I have so many updates. I kept meaning to check in over the weekend, and then I just kept forgetting. So my bad. I have so many things to talk about. I had a really, really good weekend for reading. I had the weekend off, so I just kind of didn't stop reading. Hi, Tony. For the whole weekend. Yeah, just like literally nonstop with books, and I'm so happy about it. So I'm gonna be kind of quick because I do have a pizza in the oven and I'm very hungry, and so we're gonna kind of rapid fire this little wrap up. But hi, buddy. Anyways, so I finished Starling House by Alix Harrow. I gave this one 3.5 stars. I loved the setting of it, the whole sentient house thing. I am a sucker for a good sentient house. It brings me so much joy. And yeah, that was definitely the best part of this book. If you yell to go outside, you asked me to come in this room, dude. Don't yell at the door. Looking at you. Sorry. No, Tony, I came in the room and left Tony downstairs to film his update, and then he came to my door, and now he's scratching at the door even though he came up here and yelled to be let in, and now he wants back out. You little shithead. Dude, chill out. Anyways, yeah, I loved the setting of it. It was fantastic. The romance was good, but didn't really feel like it was needed. And like the climax was, again, pretty good, but could have been a bit better. But overall, I did enjoy this one, and I do recommend it. It's just not like the best thing that I've ever read in my life, you know what I mean? So 3.5 stars for that one. Why am I holding this? I have things that I can put this down on. Like, I got a tripod that I didn't have to hold things. Put that down. And then I finished Daughters of the Dawn. This one I did not like that much. I gave it 2.5 stars. The things that I enjoyed in book 1, I still enjoyed in book 2. I love the magic and the setting and that kind of thing. That was all great. The plot was pretty good for the most part. It was very like very, very dramatic, and just over the top with everything. Nothing was chill. Yeah, I really didn't believe any of the things that were going on. It was all super dramatic and over the top and like not very well written, unfortunately. And like the romance drove me crazy. It was it was not good in that front. But the magic is super cool. I loved the world. It was very creative. So it wasn't like all bad. It just also wasn't very good. So 2.5 stars for that one. And like, it's kind of being generous. It's more like a 2, but I'll leave it at a 2.5. And then on Saturday, I did my reread of the Sunbearer Trials at long last. I read this all in one day. I couldn't put it down. Hi, buddy. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite books of all time. I gave it 5 stars again, of course. Can y'all hear that scrabbling? That is the fucking raccoons that live in my walls. Drives me crazy. And of course they stop when I mention it. I forgot how much I loved this book. Like I knew that I was gonna love it again, obviously. I gave it 5 stars the first time, but the second time was just like I noticed so many more things. This was just so good. It felt like coming back to like an old friend kind of thing. I loved this book and I can't wait to read the sequel. I have the audiobook on hold. It'll be available in the next like month or 2, give or take. So I'll be reading that one very, very shortly and I can't wait for it. And then yesterday on Sunday, my Wi-Fi was out pretty much all day from like 8 a.m. until about 8 p.m. and I ended up reading 2 whole books yesterday. Look at me go. One of them was short, but still. So I read The Black God's Drums by Djèlí Clark, which was excellent. It was so good. I listened to the audiobook for it and the narrator did such a good job. Oh my god. It takes place in like New Orleans and they had that like thick, beautiful accent that I just adore. And plot wise, I was a little bit lost with the plot once in a while, but for the most part I was able to figure out what was going on. And yeah, I just had a blast reading this. The audiobook took me like an hour and a half to get through, give or take, and it was just a super fun time. I would love to see that be a movie. I think it would do super well as a movie, but as a book I gave it a 4 star and very much enjoyed that one. I definitely want to read more of this author. I've read a few things by him, but not as much as I would like to. So I definitely want to get more into his works. And then last thing for this weekend, I also read We Used to Live Here by Mark something. No idea. The picture's here. This was fucking terrifying. Like, oh my god. This just like played into some of my biggest fears. It had this really, really well done sense of dread the whole time, like literally from page 1. It's just like something feels wrong, and the more that you read, the more wrong it feels, and it's just this like nagging dread that like something bad is going to happen, and boy does it. This was so good. I gave it 5 stars. Like I literally could not stop reading this one. I picked it up at like 3 o'clock and I just sat down on the couch and I listened to the entire thing in pretty much one go. It was like locked in, ready to go, fully engaged. It was phenomenal. Genuinely so scary. So I loved that one. It was so good. Definitely one of the best horror books that I've read. The ending was kind of confusing a little bit, but I still gave it 5 stars because the whole experience was just fantastic. So, but yeah, those are all the things that I have read in the last 2.5 days. I've done a lot of reading in the last couple of days and I'm kind of tuckered out, I'm not gonna lie. I think tonight is gonna be either a movie night or a Zelda night. I did play a bunch of Zelda last night as well too, actually, so that was really nice. I think I'm gonna watch a Hallmark movie though. I'm kind of in the mood for that, so we'll see. Either way, that'll do it for this week's vlog, and yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye.